The absolute essential ingredient for being happy and successful in life is to have a positive quality of self-esteem. Self-esteem, or self-worth, is the inner calm assurance that you deserve to win, you deserve to succeed, you deserve to feel good about your life. It isn't pride in what you have or your achievements as much as it is a deep, unconscious, and conscious sense of your own value. But over 80% of people have a negative self-esteem. It's the inner fear that you don't deserve as much, that you're not worth as much as other people. Most of us show a positive, even aggressive face to the world. But inside, the inferiority feelings are real and very painful. The purpose of this program is to show you how self-esteem works, so you can control it rather than have your subconscious self-worth continue to control you. We'll give you specific self-esteem building guidelines, both in this tape and in the rehearsal booklet. And we'll explain why these principles work 100% of the time. I know they work because I've tested them for 14 years on hundreds and hundreds of low self-esteem people. Our positive and negative self-values are buried in the subconscious from all the years of positive or negative experiences. From the subconscious, they deliver attitudes that control the confidence level that we work on. It takes us about 3 to 5 minutes to tell other people what we are. Then, that's the level they use to respond to us. They treat us on the level we tell them we deserve. Our self-esteem begins to move to the positive or negative direction as soon as we are born. If you don't receive feelings of self-worth from those who have the greatest influence on you, they literally teach you to believe you are worth less. You deserve less than others. If you receive love unconditionally and are made to feel capable, your self-esteem is strong. Listen to these expressions from parents. You'll know which builds positive self-worth and which ones destroy it. You're just like your father. I'm so proud to have you as my daughter. How can you stand this pig pen? You have always made me feel special. How could you behave like this after all we've done for you? That's tremendous. I knew you could do well. I've told you 1,000 times. Children receive 80% negatives against 20% positives. If both parents have negative self-esteems, the negative ratio is probably higher. And once that mental set is established in childhood, it locks in for the rest of our lives. But it can be changed. Self-esteem, your most precious asset, will guide you in raising your self-esteem and that of those you care for. There are several self-esteem deciders. Let's look at some of the most powerful ones. Marriage is supposed to be a relationship where two people tell and show each other over and over and over, you are the most important person in my life. You matter to me more than any other thing or person matters in my world. Then, that show and tell and feeling is supposed to extend to the children and the grandchildren. In a strong marriage, this self-esteem building process goes on constantly. But there are more divorces that result from failure in this self-worth reinforcing area than from money or sex or religion or anything else. When children are raised in a self-worth destroying marriage, they learn all the ways to destroy self-esteem, both in themselves and in the next generation. It's what they learned, so they pass it on. I'm fortunate to have a self-image builder as my wife. Let me give you just a little illustration. When I was a member of the Calgary City Council, the Canadian bankers were in town for their annual convention. I had been asked to be the banquet speaker for their wind-up on Saturday night. As Faye and I got ready for the dinner, I had on my tuxedo, she had on her evening gown and gussied-up hairstyle, but I began to fret because we were running late. So I said, "Hurry, dear, those high mucky mucks are waiting for us." I got the lesson of my life. She grabbed me by the lapels, pulled me down nose to nose with her, and she said, "I want you to remember this lesson as long as you live, and you watch when we get there. Those people are waiting for the big mucky-muck to arrive." Sure enough, when we got to the meeting, the president of one of Canada's largest banks met us, took us to the reception room, where all the bank presidents and their wives were waiting to proceed to the head table. This president, who would MC the evening program, wanted to introduce us to all the bank presidents, but I said, "I'm sorry we're late, and you probably want to go directly into the convention hall. We don't want to keep those 500 bankers and their wives waiting." But he answered, "Don't you worry about them. They'll wait for you. We'll go in when you're ready. We'd like you and Mrs. Law to lead the procession. But before we go out, all the presidents would like to be introduced to you. Here's Mr. So-and-so, president of such and such bank." Then my wife pinched me in a very tender spot just to remind me, "I told you so, the high mucky-muck has arrived." She has been a tremendous self-image builder to me for many years. Every husband, every wife deserves a builder-upper and not a terror-downer. Many men think it is unmanly to hug or kiss or demonstrate any affection for anyone. Their wives and children live in a desolate wilderness, starving for tenderness. Low self-esteem men and women are afraid to say the confidence-building words. They fear it will somehow diminish their own selves by giving away positive words of comfort. So they grow up empty, incapable of offering support and unconditional love. They learn to give love or approval only for exceptional performance. Since only 20% of us excel, they rarely find any reason to give away encouragement. After all, they're training losers to be like themselves. And it can go on for generations because low self-esteem children grow up to be low self-esteem adults. No adult or anyone else has the right to belittle or humiliate anyone, especially a defenseless child. When the subconscious mind has been filled with negatives, it's hard to give anything else. But we can reprogram and recreate a whole new life picture.